The History of Juneteenth. History was made in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865. General Gordon Granger issued General Order No. 3. The order declared to end slavery in Texas. All enslaved people were to be freed. The announcement came near the end of the Civil War. June 19th, or Juneteenth, is still celebrated today. Freedom came 2 years after Emancipation Proclamation. The response by some of the 250,000 enslaved people in Texas was joyous. However, the news did not spread quickly. Some plantation owners waited to deliver the news. Some waited until they were forced to act. This situation was similar to President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, delivered in 1863. That proclamation freed enslaved people in Confederate states, but did not impact Texas. The lag between Lincoln's proclamation and General Order No. 3 speaks to Texas' unique role in the Civil War. Slavery wasn't a practice in Texas until 1836. That's when the Republic of Texas was established. The state operated independently for 10 years. The Republic of Texas opened up businesses for slavery, which grew quickly. When Texas became a U.S. state in 1845, the practice continued. Texas fought with the Confederacy in the Civil War. At the beginning of the Civil War in 1861, Texas Governor Sam Houston opposed the war. He thought it would destroy the South. Still, the Texas government decided to leave the Union for the Confederacy. Houston remained against the action. He refused to join the Confederate States of America. As a result, he was replaced in March 1861 by the lieutenant governor. Texas then joined the Confederacy in its war against the Union. Texan soldiers played an important role in the war. By 1861, Texan troops were leaving the state for combat in the East. John Bell Hood was a Kentuckian who made Texas his home. He quickly rose up in the ranks of the Confederate Army. He was briefly a leader in Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. Lee's army was one of the most important for the Confederacy. Hood suffered injuries in the Battle of Gettysburg and at another battle in Chickamauga. These injuries ended his leadership of the brigade. Upon Hood's return to Texas, the Confederacy quickly fell apart. Things weren't going well in Texas either. General Edmund Kirby Smith led the Army of all Trans-Mississippi. It had soldiers from Texas, Arkansas, and parts of Louisiana. The army was also growing weak. Union forces had cut off Texas from the east by taking control of the Mississippi River. News of the war's unavoidable end traveled from the east to the west. Hood and Smith surrendered about the same time in early summer 1865. Hood surrendered in Natchez and Smith surrendered in Galveston. Smith then fled the country. Juneteenth, now an official Texas holiday. Days later, General Granger was placed in command of the U.S. Army's Department of Texas. He set up headquarters in the city of Galveston. There, he made the famous proclamation on June 19th. Granger urged free men to continue working on plantations, but only after signing labor agreements. These agreements were like contracts to ensure fair treatment and pay. Many celebrated on June 19, 1865. But there were also acts of violence against freed men and women. Still, Juneteenth was celebrated the next year, particularly by freed slaves. June 19th was more important to them than the 4th of July. The slaves had not been freed by the Declaration of Independence. They were freed on Juneteenth. In 1980, Texas recognized Juneteenth as an official state holiday. It is now celebrated across the country, including Los Angeles, New York, and La Crosse, Wisconsin.